Hello. And I'm Richie.
And I'm Jeremy.
And this is Week in Review.
Week in Review.
With Richie and
Jeremy.
So, Jeremy, this is episode
12.
Episode 12.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. That's like 3 months of doing this.
Yeah,
It's 3 months of doing
kind
this.
of crazy.
Sorry about that beep, everybody. That's our new clock timer, so we don't go over and have a podcast for an hour and 45 minutes like we did last week.
Yeah, but did you catch that? But that was a great episode.
It was.
Because you had the judge on here, and he just wanted to talk, and he texted me and said, "Hey, I want to come on again and talk some more." And
that's
and I
awesome.
can't wait because he's a good guy, and some of the information he gets, like a lot of people don't know about all that stuff.
Yeah, that jury duty information was really good. I like to talk about that when he comes back and see how that's working out and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so but if you haven't seen it, tune in and watch it. We are now available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, iHeartRadio. So you could just not only watch it.
This one.
Who'd I miss?
I don't know.
Don't listen to him. But not only can you watch it, but you can just listen to it. So while you're in your car driving to work, or like this, depending on how you drive. But
I totally drive like this.
Yeah. Did your foot out the window?
No.
But tune in, watch it once again. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, YouTube. So check us out on there. Week in Review with Richie and Jeremy.
Oh,
Big
you
Apple
forgot.
Studios, Circleville.
You forgot Round Town Radio. Did you say
Round
Radio?
Town Radio.
I knew
We're
there
on
was a 6.
Yeah, but you can't drive and listen to Round Town Radio. That's only one night he airs it.
Yeah, but
But this you can watch. This you can.
That's true.
Anytime you can just
That's
go
true.
on your phone or pull it up on your car and check it out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, YouTube, Amazon Music. Anyway, we don't have a T-shirt. Once again, can somebody get us some T-shirts? Damn it!
I got a new T-shirt for next week.
Woohoo!
I promise you.
Oh, I can't wait to make fun of you.
Anyway, let's roll into this.
What's going on this week?
So,
Well,
We
what
had a
happened
big
in the
deal.
past week?
we had a big deal yesterday.
What was the big
And
deal?
I don't know if you caught it, but Side of Post, we partnered with a guy, me and my partner on Side of Post. His name's Brandon Slichter. He does Investment Joy.
Oh yeah, Brandon, great guy.
Yep. And we partnered with this guy named Cole Simpson. And Cole Simpson is giving away 50 free roofs across the United States.
What?
Yes. And he does a lot of those things where he goes into
That's awesome.
into grocery stores and he just walks up to strangers and says, "Hey, you got 60 seconds from right now to fill up your cart. Go."
Oh,
And
is
he
that guy?
records it.
Is that guy that does that?
No, it's another guy
Oh,
who
okay,
does that.
okay.
You should check him out. It's Cole Simpson. You can check him out on Facebook and
Put a link
and YouTube.
right here?
Yeah, I will. But anyway, we partnered with him and we put out something on Side of Post beginning of the month in April, and looking for somebody that would really needed a roof. So part of that scheme is that we found a couple of people that were participants. And we showed up to kind of look at their roof. And, the guys showed up with cameras and things like that. Well, while they were inspecting the roof, they didn't know it, but the roofers were coming down the road. So as they were inspecting the roof, they got off the roof and said, "Oh, by the way, you win, and we're putting your roof on right now."
So they thought they were just being inspected as a participant to see if they were going to be entered in the finals or whatever.
Yep. And then all of a sudden it was like, let's go.
Oh, well, that is awesome.
So they started their roof that morning, Tuesday morning, and finished it.
So how did you guys, if you don't mind me asking, and you don't have to answer if it's classified confidential information, but how did you guys choose which house or roof would need it? Was it something that was the worst in worse shape, or how did you come up with the criteria?
A
to
lot
pick
of the
this
participants
house?
sent in little videos and stuff, and they kind of showed, leaky roofs where it was leaking into the house and stuff like that. This happened to be a family of 3. They had a little baby and really hardworking guy, and he just had a leaking roof, and they chose him because of that. And then another cool thing happened.
What's that?
While they were there, and these guys were on Pearl Avenue, by the way,
in
Circleville.
In Circleville, okay.
Yeah, Pearl Avenue in Circleville. These people, as giving as they are, they had let somebody use one of their vehicles because they had a breakdown. So they had gifted somebody the use of one of their vehicles. So then all of a sudden they had a problem with one of their vehicles. So then they were struggling. You know, there's 3 of them. They had to run them to work and back. You know, they were working off of one vehicle. Well, and then they were having problems with that. So Mike Cessna from Elite Mobile Tire came by and fixed the vehicle up for him.
Oh, nice. Nice job, Mike.
Free.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That's
That's a cool story. I really like that. And
that's great. Community coming together, business coming together, helping people out. That's awesome. You know, that's a big shout out to the Saturday Post for doing that, and Brandon and to Mike for coming and fixing their vehicle. Big shout out to everybody. Thank you guys. That's awesome.
And we were down there. The cops rolled by a couple times, so we got some pictures of the officers kind of being involved with it. And then Mayor Blanton came down. It was just kind of a whole group happiness thing. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You guys should pat yourself on the back. Now, is this going to be taking place like yearly or something? Or
I don't know. It was just kind of one of those things where through Investment Joy, because he's pretty large up there, he just kind of partnered with him and said, hey, find me somebody that had a roof.
Oh,
and
nice.
because Brandon is local too, we were like, hey, why don't you find one in our area and we'll do it and we'll partner.
Okay.
So it was a partnership between Cole, Investment Joy, and Side of Post.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that cool?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's very awesome.
And
What else
somebody
we
got a
got
brand new
going on?
roof.
What else we got going on this week that happened?
So Jack Pine, what do you think about Jack Pine?
Well, I mean, he's a very creative and sells glass pumpkins.
I love going out and talking to Jack Pine. I do every year. I go out there and we talk about the pumpkin of the year with Jack Pine, and he has always been gracious to me, and I appreciate you, Jack, coming out and just chatting with me about the design and stuff like that. And Jack's a regular guy. I don't know if anybody's really talked to him, but he's just a regular cat, and he's just enjoyable to work with. But anyway, he has the Glass Garden Art Festival that's coming up on May 1st. So May 1st, May 2nd, and May 3rd. And that's when he's introducing the Mother's Day pumpkin. He has a really cool special Mother's Day pumpkin.
Coming out May 3rd.
Come out May 1st.
May 1st.
The first day of the festival they have down there. And that's right down there in Hocking Hills. It's not that far from here. It's like, I think it's 15 or 20 minutes from here.
I do apologize for the weekend review. We're giving you something that's coming up.
Well,
Although by the time you watch this, it'll be May 1st.
Yeah.
So
you'll be able to go out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So head on over to Jack Pine in Lauraville, right?
Yep.
In Lauraville.
Yep, right outside of Lauraville, just right there in Hocking Hills. It's great.
Right
It's a
outside
great.
Lauraville,
It's a
Hocking
great
Hills
place, and
area.
they'll have live demonstrations, how to blow pumpkins, all that stuff like that. So,
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
so one thing that
That was
happened
too
this
easy.
week. So we'll bring it down a notch. So one thing that happened this week. Did you see the story about the lawnmower bandit?
I seen a picture of it. What was that? What was
That
going
was
on there?
it was a blink camera picture.
Wait, there was a blink camera picture?
Yeah,
Is that how they caught him?
that's how they caught him.
Wait, so did Circleville police access the back door into the blink cameras to get the footage to find it?
No.
Oh,
Let me
they
tell you
didn't?
the story.
Okay, go ahead.
So, it was stolen from one of the farm places on US 23. I can't name the name because they asked me not to.
Okay.
One of the farm places. There's only 2.
But this isn't the Saturday Post. This is Weekend Review. at Big
I
Apple
know.
Studios.
But hey, I make a promise. I keep it.
I hear that.
But it was stolen on the 31st of last month, and it was missing. They reported it missing.
For almost a month.
They had what's that?
For almost a month?
Yeah.
Wow.
For almost a month.
Okay.
They had footage of them stealing it, of course, but they didn't have any faces. So they got some word of somebody that was driving suspiciously a brand new lawnmower down the street.
Driving a lawnmower.
He was driving it down the street. Yeah, and he was driving it later at night too. It wasn't like it was during the day or anything like, hey, I'm going to go mow somebody's yard. He's just driving it around. Anyway, so
I don't have a car, but I need to get to the store. I'm going to take
Right.
my lawnmower.
Yep. That's exactly it.
So they caught him.
Yep, they caught him, and they went to a residence on West Main Street where they found a mower underneath a tarp,
Okay.
basically. But, of course, they couldn't go and take a look at the mower because even though they were suspicious, they didn't have enough evidence.
Gotcha.
So that's when they started knocking on doors and asking neighbors and stuff, and that's when they got access to the Blink camera, which confirmed the guy that lived there was driving the yellow that matched description. So that from there, they got a search warrant. They investigated it. They found out it was his. They got the mower back, and he got charged.
Oh, well, good job, Circleville Police. Good
Yep.
job.
That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
Also,
it is.
when are you going to release that big sandwich?
Soon.
You've been talking about this for like 2 months now.
Soon.
Soon's not good enough for me.
Don't worry.
Anyway.
We'll release it. I'll tell you what. This is what we'll do. We will release it first here. We'll release that new sandwich called that we have the name. The name is called the Fat Italian. And we will be dropping the Fat Italian soon at Richie's New York Corner Deli. And when we drop it, we'll let you know what's on it, how much meat is on it. It's a huge freaking sandwich.
You gotta put a scale.
But yeah, I mean, we'll take some pictures. Saturday Post will probably come by, do a story, and take some pictures on the release.
Maybe.
Yeah. But we'll also be introducing a food challenge with it. And we're not going to go into too much details as we're finalizing all that now.
He says but he's the one that owns everything, and he's the one that builds it.
There's a committee of 12 in my head, so, we have to get together and decide what we're going to do, So,
we got,
and then we'll get it out there. There is Christian who works for me, and also, he's a real estate agent, so there is a we.
Fine, but I don't think he makes the decisions.
He doesn't, but I do bounce it off my employee and let him have some input and say.
Okay. Anyway,
whatever.
We
Coming soon.
We got 2 guests
Stop
today,
yelling at
right?
me.
Two.
We got 2 guests tonight. Two. Yes. One will be our first video call in from Hollywood, and then right now in the studio with us we have Ashton Phillips. Hey,
Hi.
Ashton, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me, guys.
So Ashton, you were previously interviewed by Jeremy in the Saturday Post.
Yep.
About the Blessings and the Backpack event that took place Friday previously.
Yep.
Last week.
Yes.
And so how did that event go?
It went really well. We had just a great time. There was lots of food. There was photography going on by We Are Wheelhouse. We had an MC as well, Jared Williamson.
Okay.
Just a fantastic turnout. Jeremy showed up. You were there. We didn't get our picture though. I was trying to track you down, but by the time I was done blabbing with other people, I was like, he's gone. But
you had a few people there telling stories about how Blessing in the Backpack impacts the kids.
Yes.
In the area. Can you tell me a little bit about exactly what Blessings in the Backpack does?
Yes. So Blessings in a Backpack sends home a supplemental meal bag every Friday with students that school staff and administration have picked out as needing additional help. So they face some food insecurity or the family's going through a hard season, and the school staff and administration keep that information discreet. So we don't know who those kids are receiving the bags, but we know how many numbers we're giving to each school. So the kids really learn to rely on them. And
your number right now for kids that you guys are servicing, and you're servicing in 6, right? 6 different schools at this point in time.
Yep.
And mostly Pickaway County schools, but then you have Amanda, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And you guys are servicing 425, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I remember in our interview, you said you could easily double that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Easily. If someone said, here's a check, let's go, we could totally double it.
So what does it cost a year to feed those children or provide backpacks?
$90,000.
So $90,000 for the 400 and some odd number you have right now. It costs $90,000.
Yeah, and we have to raise half of that money to just say, yes, we can take you on again for the school year. And so we have to raise those funds, all volunteer-based, all local people and businesses contributing to that. And when we've raised half of our money, then we can say, yes, we can officially take on those students. And then we continue raising throughout the rest of the year. And we hope and pray that the rest comes in before the end of the school year. And so far, it's all worked out.
So you're at the half mark at this point in time?
Correct.
For next year, because I heard at the meeting that you guys got the money to finish off this year.
Correct.
So now you're working on putting the money together for next year.
Correct. We are raising funds for the next school year
now. That's awesome.
Yes.
And then there's some businesses or people that also match some donations.
Yes. So we had Caleb Gouge, the Eagles here in town, Community United Methodist, and also Jason Idle. So we had a couple of matching funds donors that help, just encourage people to donate, get everybody excited, and then they match anything that comes in up to the amount that they have pledged and promised.
Oh, nice.
So we
nice.
do have some matching funds still available. If anyone wants to still donate, we're going to continue to receive those. We have a few more that are pledged or that have been told to us that have been mailed through a check to our main office, the national office. But that takes a couple weeks for us to actually hear back because, they're dealing with all of the Blessings in a Backpack chapters. So it'll still be a couple more weeks before we get, like those final official numbers of how much is raised. But we did reach our goal in becoming halfway funded. So we can, in fact, say yes to those 425 students that we've currently been supporting. So that's really good news.
Nice,
So you said
nice.
halfway supported.
Yes.
So now you still have another half. What's
Yeah.
the plan for that? Where do you find that other half?
So we still continue to just ask people to donate as they're able to. There's local food drives that people can have that help us stretch our budget further. We have, we're still working on it, but we have a competition coming up between schools. There'll be the backyard brawl between Logan, Elm, and Circleville. That always helps bring in a few extra funds and some car shows and different things planned throughout the year. We are planning on doing Purses for a Purpose again coming up. That's still a ways off, but that also helped bring in a good amount of funds as well too. So we have some other fundraising events that people can plug into that will help.
And you said during the interview, that if Girl Scout kids and Boy Scouts want to kind of contribute to this, because really one of the things that you guys really need more than anything is the little Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, the pop top raviolis, the
Pop
microwavable
Tops.
individuals. Yeah.
Right. So if there's a Girl Scout troop out there or a Boy Scout troop that wants to give back in this, and even if you're just collecting a little bit, it still goes a long way for your situation, especially for
sure.
those, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I challenge you guys out there, you Girl Scout troops, Boy Scout troops, if you happen to be watching this, or anybody else, you could be one of the car shows, I don't care.
Yeah.
Maybe you should think about giving back to these guys. Also, for people that want to give back monetarily, I'm going to put down the QR code right here. And you
And
can
we'll put
click
a
on
link
that.
in the comments as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. We have our Facebook page too, Blessings in a Backpack, Pickaway-Amanda, Ohio. And so you can also go into there and find our link and give right through there. We're able to see that a lot quicker of what's coming in than if you mail a check to the national office, but both work. We will take both.
Yeah. And one of the cool things about this donation compared to some of the other ones is this is money that's coming into the community and going right into the community.
Exactly.
This isn't something that's going out and then coming back, or going out and you have to ask for it to come back or anything. This is stuff that's going literally money's coming in and going into a backpack. I think that's awesome.
And some of the stories that we heard during the event, they were, and I say this in a way, like they were tearjerkers, and
Yeah, for sure.
And the kids asking for the backpacks, not just sometimes for themselves, but also for my cousin's gonna come stay the weekend or something like that, and asking for an extra, a little bit extra.
Yeah, for a sibling or
Right.
Yeah.
And
sure.
it was touching. It was hard.
Yeah. It was really lovely to have school staff and administration present too, just representing the schools. And we didn't have everybody share from all of the locations that we support, but our ones, the biggest schools that we do support, so Circleville, Logan, Elm, and Amanda, they all had representation who came and spoke about the impact directly from what they have seen and experienced as school staff and administration. So that's been really helpful.
That must be really impactful for you, and knowing, you doing this, but seeing the schools, making sure that they show up and talk about this, because it must be really important for them.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And we're so grateful to have not just community support, but even the support of our schools. Because if they, were unwilling to come to these kind of events, or to even, say, yes, we are doing this, or to even share it with the people that they know, it would hinder just the awareness of the program.
Right.
So the fact that they take time out of their already very busy schedules, especially during this time of year, there's testing going on, in all the schools, and they're all trying to dot the I's, cross the T's for all the last minute things for school districts at the end of the year. But they made time to come and make sure that they supported this and helped spread the awareness about this program. So it meant a lot. So thank you to all of the school staff that showed up.
So does this mean now you start planning next year's?
Yes. So we are planning for next year. We are halfway funded, but we need to raise the other half. So that looks at about like another $45,000 that we have to raise in order to be fully funded for next year. We would love to get that done and handled, before the school year starts, so that we could start raising for the following, or even maybe say yes to a few more kids. We would love to expand more into, Amanda, and maybe take on some more kids at Logan Elm as well.
Because that
a matter of support and funding.
Right, because that 90,000 is just for the 425.
Correct.
But you definitely can get more.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but in order to say yes to taking on more, we need to know that we can really show up well and finish out the year for what we have. So,
yeah, you guys made a point last time, and it was something that really got me. I had to stop because I got emotional, because you said we want to make sure we supply the 425, because we never want to take it away. We never want to say we don't have funding for that 425. We want to say, hey, we're your sponsors and we're going to be here.
Yeah.
And that's really important to these kids. It's already getting me emotional.
Yeah.
It's just and I think that's really awesome.
So in other words, go through your couch cushions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call your rich uncle. What was the joke he said last time?
No amount is too small.
Your uncle doesn't need another boat.
Yeah, right.
Otherwise, we might have to send Joey and Vito over there to turn you upside down and see what they shake out of your pockets.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just a little bit, right? You said it's what, 185 for one kid for a year?
For our elementary school students, correct. Yep. Yes. A little bit more for the older ones because they require more calories. But for an elementary school student, 185 sponsors one kid for the whole year.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Ashton,
I love it.
Thank you for coming back in here or coming here on the show for the first time. And I know you sat with Jeremy and coming and telling us about Blessings in a Backpack and sharing what happened over the past event.
For sure. And you guys have a lovely setup. I'm super comfortable on your couch, and I'm just like, I could come back anytime. This is great.
Well, please come back. When you guys are doing the next event or something like that, please come back.
Yeah,
hit me up on Side of Post. I'm happy to put it out there.
Of course.
Let's push this a little bit more, because I really want to support this even more.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Hey, Richie, do we got another guest?
We do. So stay tuned, because we're going to take a short break so we can get... Welcome back to second part of Week in Review with Richie and Jeremy. And today we have a special guest joining us all the way from Hollywood. The award-winning writer and director, Michael Seabolt. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for taking time out of your day and joining us. I understand you've had a busy schedule lately.
Yeah, we've been pretty busy out here. Work's getting a little better. Did a commercial promo yesterday. I was on a promo for Dunton Ranch the other day, and then a movie promo for Supergirl the day before. So it's been pretty chaotic.
I did notice on Instagram you got thrown into the talent's reel there. We're seeing you opening up the door of their trailer.
Yeah, I'm pretty TikTok famous. I don't know if you know that. I think that's why you guys actually invited me on the show. So I got to send her a thank you note for putting me in her TikTok and getting me FaceTime with you guys.
Who was that?
She was one of our amazing. She was like a featured background. I can't go into too much details because of an NDA, but keep your eyes out for kind of like a spin-off of Snowfall, the FX show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool. It's about like 90s hip hop. And honestly, my favorite time for hip hop.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of stuff nowadays, but like Warren G, Snoop Dogg.
That's what I'm talking
all those
about.
guys, it's kind of a rewind to that.
Nice. And Snowfall was a great show. I really enjoyed Snowfall.
Oh, yeah. It's really good. It's. I think this is going to be better, honestly, after meeting the cast and seeing the vibe. It's a lot of talented people on it.
That's awesome.
So we brought you on here because Richie turned me on to a really cool little film that you made called Zombie Strain. But before we talk about that, I want to know, how do you know this guy?
Oh, Richie, he's been stalking me for about 3 years now, and he's the president of my fan club. So once we got the restraining order figured out, we're all good now. But it got a little weird there for a little bit. No, he's actually a friend of a friend. We worked on a short film together. Super talented producer. Okay actor. No, I'm just kidding. He's a great actor.
Wow.
Big personality. Great deli owner. If you haven't been to his deli before, check that out. No, just a cool guy. And yeah, and I watch your guys' podcast, and you guys are killing it.
Thank you.
Really love it. So yeah, I really appreciate being here. And we have a buddy in common named Shane, who's a super talented writer.
Also an award-winning writer
right now. Also award-winning writer, and soon to be award-winning director when his short comes out.
That's right.
He did a short with Doug Jones that Richie produced, and I helped AD. So yeah, that was a blast. So yeah, me and Richie met and became instant friends because we kind of the same personalities, just different heights, I guess.
That's funny.
We all can't be as tall as you.
That's great.
Yeah, you got the looks though.
Well, thank you.
So give me a little bit of your background before we jump into Zombie Strain, which is really cool. Tell me a little bit about, some of the stuff you worked on and some of the things that you've seen. I mean, you've been around this business for a little while, right?
Yeah. I moved out to Los Angeles in 2008. I like to say the golden years because it's been rough out here recently with a lot of work going in other states. But moved out here just on a whim, started PAing for free. Worked my way in the industry that way, and over the years, I just made it up to first AD. Started directing recently and writing. So yeah, I mean, it's just a hustle to get it going. But luckily, I've been blessed enough to be in movie promos or do movie promos. So I worked with pretty much like all the Avengers, all the guys from Justice League.
Wow.
Recently got to work with Spike Jonze. I worked with Spielberg.
Wow. It doesn't get much bigger than cool Spielberg. People. My gosh.
No, well, Betty White is my favorite. Betty White is the best. So.
Do you have a funny Betty White story?
Oh, yeah. I got Me Too'd by Betty White. God bless her soul. She's a beautiful woman. But she got a handful of Mike one day when I had my back turned to her. So, yeah. Yeah, she was a charming old lady.
Nice.
With very strong hands. Yeah.
That's great.
That's hilarious.
Betty White.
Betty White.
I tried to marry her, but she wasn't having it.
Right.
That was my sugar mama moment.
Were you too old for her?
Well, I was a little too old by like 16 months. She goes like the Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire route.
Ah,
right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what are you working on lately? Anything you can speak on or?
Sugar Shane and I are teaming up on a film. Shane Thompson, for anybody who doesn't know Sugar Shane, great musician, great writer. But yeah, we're teaming up on a project. Hopefully we can shoot it this winter. It's kind of like a suspense thriller about 3 people trapped in a cabin. Zombie Strain, we did that. And Richie and I are kind of working on a project too called The Dire Curse that we're hoping to get out there. But yeah, I mean, it's just always putting stuff in the fire and hoping something catches. Is
that been your what you want to do with these thrillers and things like that? Is that your cup of tea?
Honestly, I will direct whatever somebody has. I don't think you should limit yourself on genres. And plus, I'm a very bipolar writer. It's very hard to write something that is scary when you're in a funny mood. So I have a children's script. It's hard to write comedy when you're depressed. So you go more indie drama at that point. I just love the creative outlet, of putting something out there and trying to get a reaction from people. So I would love to do any genre. Yeah, I mean, that's my vibe. But horror is the easiest thing to sell. So really, we're just trying to start out with that and then go from there.
Is that why you do this? You just like the reaction? I love that because, thinking about artists, and I've interviewed a lot of artists and stuff, and sometimes putting work out there just to get that reaction and pull people into something. Is that why you do what you do?
Yeah, no, totally. It's for the escapism. I grew up in a family where me, my dad, and my brother all didn't have a lot in common. We're kind of 3 different personalities, but the one thing we did have was movies. So it kind of brought us together, and that was our relationship and something we could bond over. So I think that's huge. And I think, just being able to escape after a hard day and sitting down. Though Netflix and all the streaming platforms, please hire me. I don't mean this in a negative way, but sometimes you get overloaded. Like just the other day, I got off work and I sat down and I started flipping through stuff. And I was so overwhelmed, I actually just put Zombie Strain on in the background to hopefully get some more money from the streaming platform. But, it's so overwhelming with so much content out there now that I just miss the days of, when something went to a theater and then you had to wait like 4 months for it to go to TV.
Right. So quick hip shot. What's your favorite movie?
Richie, what was your last movie called?
Down to the Felt.
Yeah, that one. Nah. I love Jaws. Jaws is a good one.
Nice.
And I think Jaws is probably one of my favorites just because it's the perfect equation. And as like an AD, I'll have like stuff happen on set. I'm sorry if that cut off, but it's the perfect mix of the shark didn't work, but they still made it work.
Right.
And working in this industry, you do have to roll with the punches and make it happen. So I think for people that don't work in the industry, they don't really see everything that he conquered with that film to make it such a great success story and fighting uphill battle the whole time. So that's probably one of my favorites. I mean, there's Spaceballs if you're looking for a comedy.
Yeah, the Spaceballs 2 is about to come out, man. I'm excited. Like I can, it's like they bring back our childhood over and over again, but they kind of seem to mess it up. But I don't think you can mess up Spaceballs 2. It seems like a majority of the cast is coming back, and I love that coming out of retirement. Man, I'm excited for that film.
Yeah, me too. And having Rick Moranis back is great because it was rough for him to leave the industry, but it's respectable to take care of his family, and stuff like that. So it's great to see him back doing stuff again.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you brought that up. I'd like you even more right now.
Yeah, My Blue Heaven is a great Rick Moranis movie if you haven't seen it.
One of my favorites is My Blue Heaven.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm about to look that one up tonight.
Yeah.
Go home, watch it.
That's really cool. But let's swing back. Let's
Zombie Strain.
Let's talk about.
Tell us about Zombie Strain.
Yeah, man. What? Tell me about this creative process.
Oh man, Zombie Strain is one of those things where you have a limited budget and you have a location and you just kind of write something to meet the two together. So the idea came from because we had access to a soundstage that somebody was going to give us the cheap. So we had to come up with a movie idea that was self-contained. So the two locations are the soundstage and then my place, my living room. So that was kind of like, what do we make with that? And we at first wanted to make a horror movie, but we realized quickly that we didn't have the budget to make a horror movie. So we leaned hard into the comedy aspect of it. There is some still horror tropes to it, but it's definitely a fun movie to sit down and watch. And we're going more cult classic than, like a take itself serious comedy movie. So it's just something to watch and turn your brain off. We do have a scene in the movie that I kind of, when we were coming up with the idea, I kind of had this idea first because it's never been seen in a movie before. But if you look now, they're actually making a movie about somebody that loses a member of their body and it turns into a killer. So no spoilers, but yeah, I feel like we're kind of innovative with our film. Don't think we're going to get an Oscar. I'm still holding out hope,
but you did. But the film did win a couple of awards, correct?
Yeah, I think in the film festival circuit it did. Nothing too much to brag about, at indie film festivals. But still, it's an honor for people to see it and people to like it, and it's streaming out there. So we've been getting a lot of compliments. A lot of good stuff on Tubi. It's been popping up on their recommendation section.
Oh, nice.
And their comedy section. So that's been kind of cool.
Is that where you suggest we go take a look at this? Because it's out now, right?
Yeah, it's on Tubi. It's on Prime, Plex, Zumo, and a couple other ones. So I think we're in like 9 countries too. Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Where else? Sorry, I'm blanking out. I just get off of 4 days of our own work, so sleep is not a thing right now.
Did they have to change? They have to change the language in Australia and like give it a little bit of a twang? Like, you change it in other countries to different languages, but in Australia and Canada, you got to add a couple of A's in there,
Well, we did change a lot of the kill stuff from like when a zombie kills somebody, it's like the dingo ate your baby. But no, we didn't have to change that.
That's what I'm talking about.
The zombie ate your baby. No, we didn't have to change that. I think mainly that's why they distroed to the countries they distroed to, because they're all English, pretty much. 80% of people there understood English, so they didn't have to do any translations or anything.
Right. Tell me about a couple other ones that you've produced. I was looking on your IMDb, right? That's how that's said. IMDb, because I never even knew that was in existence until Richie pointed that out, and I started looking at my different actors and stuff, and that's a really cool thing how it just kind of attaches everybody together. But there was one called Sleep Tight that you did.
Oh yeah, that was the first film I ever wrote and directed. And that was the opening scene and the main character's backstory for a feature idea I have. And that's a horror movie. It's about, I have a lot of friends in law enforcement and stuff like that. And you always hear like, oh, he's a good kid and all this stuff. And it's just about life making him bad. So the premise of this one is this kid's adopted, and his adopted dad ends up getting possessed by a demon and then killing his mom. So it's just kind of like, and then you see in the future, like him in the future, and you realize, is it like your childhood that makes you a bad person, or are you just inherently a bad person? So yeah, it's just about good over evil and all that stuff. But just on a side note with IMDb, Richie's working on something hot that might be competing with IMDb soon. So I'm excited about that, because I think he's going to be the new king of movies soon.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mike.
I don't know if I can say that, but you can edit it out later, right?
We're not editing anything.
I don't think
We don't edit out in this show.
Okay.
It's out there now. Too bad.
I didn't sign an NDA, did I, Richard?
I love that.
Please don't sue me. Yeah.
And you can watch that one online too, right? You can.
Yeah, that's on YouTube. And it's also on Richie's app. So if you want to go to Richie's app, plug here, Richie.
It's the beta's getting released soon, so the beta's not out there yet for the public, but the beta is getting released soon. Thanks for dropping that early, Mike.
Yeah, no problem.
No,
I figured Richie's just writing mean stuff here anyway, so he could put the website in here somewhere too. Like as I'm talking.
I like it. I like how you frame that. That's great. That's exactly where I'm going to put it too. Oh, awesome, man.
Well, Mike, it was great. It was great seeing your face again. It's been a minute. It's great seeing you. It's great talking to you.
Yeah.
Tell us again. Tell everybody again where they can watch Zombie Strain.
You can watch Zombie Strain on Prime, Plex, Tubi. Highly recommend Tubi. I'm not saying like go to Tubi because it's free, but it's free. All you have to do is watch some commercials. Prime, I think it's like $3.99. But if you want to pay it, I'm not against you paying for the film. It's worth it. But yeah, Tubi, Plex, Prime, Google, Microsoft. Man, my brain is fried. Yeah, that's all I can think of. But if you go to my Instagram, officially Seabolt, and Richie's going to add in later and put a little bouncing ball over it, officially Seabolt. Check it out. I have links in there for it too, so you can check out all the stuff on there.
Sweet.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us, Mike. And that was this week's episode of. Say what? What'd you say?
I said thanks for having me. I was sorry. What? I said thanks for having me. Sorry I cut you off.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thanks for joining us on the second half of Week in Review with Richie and Jeremy. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys.